What is up guys, the Strong Boys 19 here. So this is the next review for Pink Floyd's discography, and for today's review it is going to be on the band's 9th studio album entitled Wish You Were Here. So Wish You Were Here came out in September 1975, and this is the follow-up to the band's previous album, The Dark Side of the Moon, one of the world's most iconic and best-selling albums in music history. So this album for Pink Floyd is at a very, very different approach for so many reasons. This album has 5 tracks and it is 44.5 minutes of pure perfection. This is, without a doubt, one of my very, very top favorite albums of all time. And I remember the first time when I was listening to this album, I was completely speechless by how phenomenal it was. And since then, I was heavily obsessed with this album, and I could not stop playing it all the way through. That's how much this album means a lot to me, lyrically and musically. This album is another one of their concept albums, and this is heavily, heavily based on their former bandmate Syd Barrett. So to pay homage and tribute to one of the ex-members of Pink Floyd, I think it's a wonderful, amazing idea for Pink Floyd to do that. I won't explain the background about this album that much because I absolutely recommend a documentary for you guys to check out, The Story of Wish You Were Here, which is one of my all-time favorite documentaries. I highly recommend it. That documentary explains everything from the beginning to the end of the development of Wish You Were Here. So the track Shine On You Crazy Diamond fades in with the really smooth, gentle and beautiful sound of Richard Wright's keyboard playing, and then as it progresses, David Gilmour's lead guitar work comes into the sound of the music, and then the whole band comes in at a very steady pace, and the vocals from Roger Waters, very, very nice vocals, including some of the best ambient sounding progressions I've ever heard in rock music, period. And also the backing vocals are excellent. So Shine On You Crazy Diamond, parts 1 to 5, is off to a very strong start. So the second song, Welcome to the Machine, is another one of Pink Floyd's acoustic-driven tracks, and this is where David Gilmour does the lead vocals on. He sings at a really high range, but the way that he sings definitely suits the vibe of the music, with another one of Richard Wright's soothing, bright keyboard sounds. Now, Have a Cigar is another really great track. This is on side 2, the last half of the album, the beginning of the last half. I think, from what I can remember, Roger Waters did an early take of this song, and he did lead vocals on it, but it just doesn't match perfectly. It just doesn't quite fit. So Roy Harper decides to help out, and his vocals are excellent style of singing. The pacing of this song is also very tight, and it was, in the right spot. And then we come to, for me, my favorite Pink Floyd song of all time. The title track, Wish You Were Here, begins with the noise sounds of the radio, gorgeous acoustic guitar sound, and this is another one that David Gilmour does lead vocals on. And this track is very much an emotional one, and the guitar solo from David Gilmour acoustically sounds incredible, and the backing vocals wonderful, and then it fades back into Shine On You Crazy Diamond, same key and progression as the first half. I think it's really clever that Pink Floyd as a band can make a song that is, you know, very, very long, but split it into halves, and have different lyrics that still connect to one meaning of the concept, and it's just fascinating. The production of this album is out of this world. I think this is the best produced Pink Floyd album. And as much as I love the production sound from Dark Side of the Moon, but I think Wish You Were Here has a gentle, crisp sounding type of production, from the drums to the guitars, and the bass is massive on this album. And there are other musicians that have worked hard extremely well on this album, like Roy Harper, but also Dick Parry for the saxophones on Shine On You Crazy Diamond. Phenomenal saxophone player. Also Vanetta Fields for backing vocals, and Carolina Williams again for Shine On You Crazy Diamond. So this is an album that I will cherish every time I will listen to it. It is, well, as I said, one of my top all-time favorite albums, and this, if I have to make my favorite progressive rock albums of all time, this album will be at one of the very, very high spots. So that is pretty much all I want to say about Pink Floyd's amazing, powerful, emotional, beautiful, and ethereal release, Wish You Were Here. Let me know what you think of this album in the comments below, and for the next album review I will go back to Classic Albums Revisited and review Bob Dylan's Blonde on Blonde. I'm going to give Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here an absolute 10 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching, and I will keep you guys posted for more videos in the near future.